Hello everyone, this is the Mad Salvi letting you know that unless things are proven with Twitter posts and stuff like that and have actual proof behind it, treat everything in this thing as a theory. I will try to mark certain things as news and theory and everything like that to kind of let you guys understand, but also, use a critical mind, and I hope you do enjoy. So looking into this one, what they're saying is that Riku deleted the appointment as executive officer of Overseas Vtuber Division and changed it to executive officer being appointed from 1 year to the next because he changed the third one, the 2021-5 for the person involved from VTuber division to just as appointed as an executive officer. And it has down here, last year agenda included appointment of an executive officer overseas VTuber division in May 2021. This year it has been secretly changed to appointment as executive officer of the company. It's kind of like, it feels like a mother-in-law way of Yachtman trying to divert shareholders' attention from the great collapse of his overseas business. It could just be just wording sometimes what works better for some people than others. Should have been the one held accountable for his failure of overseas business. Fumoto was the one that was the VTuber business person. Messed up so bad that Riku had to rewrite his position or write the Luca Raziel one by chance. Is he involved in others' overseas issues? Of course, if true, this is a weird way of trying to divert attention from other things. It is a weird way of trying to divert attention from the VTuber division. I mean, they're a VTuber company, so I don't know how they would be able to actually change the VTuber division as what is being seen, what is being perceived by the investors. So I don't know how that would fix anything, but it may just be a perception thing that investors are spooked easily, so perception may be all that they needed. Matara has always talked about her time in Hollywood, in this case Hollywood being Nijisanji. She gave her reasons and context for leaving Hollywood. Most recent stream has her giving more context to the reasons she left Nijisanji in this case and how she felt for a while her time there. She was given a special gift by her fans and let them know how this gift helped reinforce that her decisions to leave back then, despite being selfish and difficult, was the right thing to do. Gotta say that watching this live and finally getting a better picture of how she felt during her time in Kurosanji is heartbreaking. Hearing her elaborate on how she always felt that she was tolerated in her group and in general during her time there really sucks, like she was just being tolerated. And also not loved but tolerated. Also that anyone who actually liked as a fan was always given flack, that she felt she couldn't really have a true community of her own. That really sucks. I'm glad that she's in a much better place now. She actually has a group that, it not only that they don't just tolerate her, they actually love her. So same goes to anyone else who's been able to leave Kurosanji. For those folks that back there, I hope you can escape one day too and rebuild something. If you have a wonderful community in there, stay there, like Rosemi, Petra, Scarla, those people, stay and enjoy your time there if that is what you want to continue doing. I do not want to be the type of person that's like, you have to leave. That's just me. Now let's see what Matara has to say in particular. Let's hear her out.
I gotta be honest with you all. I won't go through all of these on stream because they are personal. And I've already gone through all of them and cried, but I do still want to address this. Mods, please ban Aki and Alanel forever. I want to talk about this because it's important, but I also want to be mindful of the way I talk about this because I want people to understand what I'm saying, but I'm not very eloquent at communicating my thoughts. So let me explain. At my meet and greet, Aki came and Aki kind of spearheaded this project with the help of Alan.
Oh, very nice.
And
okay.
this project is basically a scrapbook of a lot of momos, and some of the letters I haven't even opened yet, but it's basically a gigantic scrapbook. Oh my god, sorry, I'm like showing yours off, Dingo Momo, Dr. Dogo, everybody. So you basically spearheaded this whole scrapbook project, and I really appreciated. This one's from Dan. There's a bunch of them from Strange 4, from everybody. There's a lot of them, and they are so sweet, and they are Aki, thank you so much for joining Shoujo. I had left a very big group. And one of the main reasons for me leaving, I've talked about it before, blah, 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 but basically a lot of people can make their own assumptions and that's up to them. I am not here to, but a big part of it that I talked about, this was my biggest everything, was I felt like I could not grow a community within the environment that I was in. And one of the main reasons for that was I felt that as soon as people kind of were open about being my fans, I felt, and based off what I had seen, that other members, maybe they were not real fans of that community, but other members of that group, of that community, would then kind of attack people for being my fans. And the reason I'm saying this, source, I saw it on TikTok. When people would cosplay me, they would get a lot of negative comments. If people were defending me on clips of me, they would get bad comments about being fans of me, about how I'm problematic and you shouldn't be a fan of me, which again, now everyone's like, oh, wait, that, you know, she was just being her. We just didn't understand. So that was happening and I couldn't talk about it. I was not allowed to address it because I was in a group around other people and I was just not allowed to address it. Genuinely,
And that's one of the bad things in Nijisanji. They didn't let her address it.
I do not think addressing it would have changed anything. Genuinely, I don't think it would have changed. So I felt like I was never going to be able to grow my own little community. All I wanted was my own little space where I could thrive, my own little plot of land that I could harvest, my own little like farm that I could just go to every night and farm and have a good time with my momos. And I felt like I could never ever have that if I stayed. I felt like I was always going to be one bad joke away from getting canceled forever. And you can tell me, hey, you're crazy. That's not true. That would have never happened. But based off of everything that was happening, I felt that even when I kind of shifted into the good graces of the general audience, I was never fully accepted and I was never fully appreciated. So I was always kind of tolerated, which is why I took the really, really, really hard decision to leave. Things were not bad, but I still left. Even though, like, no, things were bad, but I could handle them. And I also knew that by me leaving, I knew that me leaving meant that other people were gonna get the hate that I was getting. Because typically, this is just from being online for so many years, if people bully one person and then that person disappears, their energy goes somewhere else. So I also understood that by me leaving, other people were then gonna start getting bullied as well. Because
So we're gonna leave it there, but because this is a 14-minute long video, don't want to go too much into it. But what she mentioned there, she mentioned that felt like she was being tolerated by the community, she was being tolerated by other people around her. That is never a good feeling. That is, as a VTuber, to feel like you're being tolerated, to feel like, oh, you're one step away from just being canceled. That is not a good feeling, and that is not a feeling that anyone should have when they are trying to create a community, when they are trying to make everything better and bigger and stronger. And look at her now. Her is Matara. She's doing a great job. She's able to be free in VShojo. She can address any kind of big things that happen. She can address negative people in the community. She can address things like that, which are insane. That she couldn't do that before, but large companies a lot of times have a lot of restrictions and rules. And I'm glad that she found a good place to be. She found her momos. She is King Roach Mom right now, Queen Roach Mom. She's the top of the top when it comes to Roach Moms and, you know, doing an amazing job. Cover's Q1 financial results are out. Their results are here. They want to be loved by all, a culture loved by all. That's what they want to do, which is great. Let's take a look at their numbers. They're just the highlights. They've had an increase of 24.8% on revenue. 6 billion Japanese yen, 3 billion Japanese yen of gross profit. That's before anything else gets factored in. That's just the rough profit, the full amount of money coming in before any expenses and anything else happens. Marginal profit is, I'm guessing this is 29.6%. Marginal profit is based on a specific sale of a specific product. In this case, the product either being the VTubers or being their Japanese branch of VTubers. I'm not sure what this one is all about. VTubing besides, I guess, and not administration is my assumption. Operating profit, this profit here is the one before they have their taxes, before they are taxed at the corporate tax rate and any other taxes like that are taken out. So year on year, they're minus 6.8%, so they had a 6.8% drop. Net profit had a 0.2% drop, this is after taxes and after everything, because this is where their tax profit, stuff like that, the net profit, this is where they can factor in any of their losses, factor in any of their expenses, factor in everything for the lower tax burden. Total number of channel subs, 92.25 million as of June 30th. Number of VTubers, 89 as of June 30th. Yearly revenue per VTuber, 353 million yen. So it's about $1 million per VTuber. No, almost $2 million per VTuber from what I'm seeing here. Yearly revenue per VTuber. Almost $2 million per VTuber is what they make. Remember, revenue equals everything from super chats to memberships to sponsorships to any merch sales, which includes any album sales, any of that kind of stuff. All of that is factored in to the yearly revenue per year. So it seems to be that they're making good money on their VTubers. Now, streaming content, let's look at all this. Content went up. Concerts and events went down a bit. Merchandising went up 40%. Licensing collaborations went up 7%. The gross profit, like I mentioned here, up 26%. For the quarter on quarter, like based on the 2 quarters, they're up 29.6% on marginal profit, down 6% on operating profit, which my guess is they're just spending more. Net profit is down 0.2% based on last year. And compared with their forecast, they're about, they're about where their forecast has been saying. Current status of growth number in fans, number of Japanese subs in the millions, and number of international subs in the millions, and number of official channel subs in the millions. So Japan has 56 million year-on-year growth, 15% of actual subs. Overseas, 31 million subs, 23% jump, 21.79 million English-speaking is total, and 29% jump there. And Indonesia had a 10% jump there. Of course, they recently had Hololive Justice pop out, and current status of revenue per VTuber. Quarterly revenue per VTuber of Hololive production VTubers in the millions of Japanese yen. Number of Hololive production VTubers, they went up, and year-on-year, they're having from quarter one to quarter one, they're having 5% increase, which is what's the important part. You have boosts up and down, but they had a year-on-year of 5.1%. Annual revenue per VTuber, 353 in millions of Japanese yen. Like I said, at going rate, that's like a little bit over $2 million per VTuber of revenue that they're getting overall, like net, like gross revenue. Historical trends, streaming content revenue. Basically, streaming content is still around the same percentage-wise. And concerts in revenue has gone down a bit. Merchandising and revenue, based on quarter four, because quarter four they had a lot more stuff. Merchandising and revenue seems to have stayed around the same. And licensing collaborative revenue seems to be around the same as well. Doesn't seem to have a lot of craziness going on, just based on everything. Because they're mainly saying steady growth in streaming content, expansion of products and sales channels for merchandising services, seasonality due to made-to-order merchandise in large-scale events. Exactly. There's going to be seasonality. Quarter four seems to when they're doing recently, at least 2023 and 2024, when they're doing a lot of their big things. So quarter four is going to have more things happening in the end. Performer remuneration, historical trends in cast of sales. The performer remuneration is the money given to the performer. Just all of their money, like when it comes to all the cuts that they have, the base pay that they have, because they actually have base pay in Hololive. One thing that a lot of people don't know is that yes, they do have base pay in Hololive. Outsourcing expenses, event expenses, everything like that. And finally, other costs of sales has increased, it looks like. But they try to, everything has pretty much stayed similar or the same. Event expenses actually look like it went down a bit recently. The gross margin, historical things, of course, quarter four always has a bit of a jump. It seems just that's the way. But they seem to be going on an upward trend overall. In minutes of Japanese yen, it says it saw the highest gross margin since fiscal year 2021. As event expenses remain limited due to seasonality, quarterly gross margin increased to 26%. They're improving. Basically, I'm trying to go over this as quickly as I can. Personnel expenses were remaining around the same. Office expenses around the same, a little bit more because they grew. Warehouse expenses were around the same as other than quarter four where they had more stuff happening. And other SG&A expenses are basically other expenses outside of just being VTubers. All their big expenses were staying around the same. They had a bit more than last quarter one, and increased a bit more because they're becoming more active and more remuneration, all that kind of stuff. Trend in marginal profit and marginal profit ratio, 46.2%. They're staying around the same. It's not going crazy. Historical trends in operating income and operating margin. It was adjusted due to increased fixed costs arising from the expansion of corporate structure. Basically, they're expanding. This takes into account their new offices in the U.S. Operating income, the trends and operating margin. It's kind of going up and down as it tends to do. Overview of service mix and product mix. They have streaming contents being 31.6%, 7%, just based on everything that's going on. They're staying around the same. Concerts and events has stayed small, at least for this fiscal quarter. Merchandising is still a big part. Licensing as well is doing pretty big. Monthly sales ratio of each product, they are, again, jumping up and down. Shipping goods related to large events. Basically, other things, they're going to be having other goods, planned goods. They're doing pretty well overall. Measures under preparation, preparations for business development in the second half. What they're going to be doing for the second half of the fiscal year. They want to strengthen engagement with fans. They want to expand music-based products. They want to expand content featuring international performers. Expansion of live concerts. Implementation of several large events. Trading card games is what they're trying to do. It will go on sale in September. Expansion of product planning, production, and logistics capacity in line with expansion. That's why they moved to the U.S. Expansion of retail sales in Japan and overseas. Reinforcement of profitability through restructuring of sales for licensing and collaboration. They're trying to restructure things so that they can get more profit out of that, which makes sense. Expansion of overseas business-to-business transactions through local offices in North America and local agents in each region. What they mean by business-to-business is either, I think, with other agencies or collaborations with like a food vendor or a restaurant or a cafe or things like that. The medium to long-term things, they're trying to expand their trajectory. They are expanding. They're doing a lot of things here. Fandom contributes to new IP momentum. The fandom, the Hololive English fandom, helped the new unit debut is what they're saying. The Justice debut. Brand penetration, they're talking about their Hololive Dodgers night. They collaborated with them. This is for investors showing, hey, we're doing things to make more profits for you guys, to make us be known around the world, and to make it so that, yeah, maybe this one, because we're investing a lot of money in it, there may not be as many profits as there was before, but in the long run, we're going to keep seeing the profits move up. Increasing engagement through participation in large-scale events. They did Anime Expo 2024, Japan Expo as well, Bilibili Macrolink Billy World. They did that through the multi-channel network of NOA talents, sorry. Expansion of overseas live concerts. They're breaking dimensions, which Watame is going to be a part of. It is a worldwide thing. This was Breaking Dimensions was Hololive English second concert. My mistake. It wasn't the one Watame was part of. Hololive Stage World Tour is the one that Watame is a part of. The Hololive Breaking Dimensions was the second year that they did the concert for Hololive English. The Hololive Stage Tour, they're having Muna, Kobo, Ina, Bei, Kiara, Azuki, and Watame. I am very happy for each and every one of them, especially like for Azuki, Watame, who wanted to have, for the longest time, for years now, they wanted to be part of a world tour, of a larger concert thing, and they are now getting it. Watame especially, this is one of her dreams to do this, and they're doing it for her. And that is one of the things that other agencies need to learn from, I think, in my opinion. Hololive is doing this, of course, for business, and of course, to get more money, but it is a big benefit for them. Expanding the reach of light fan base through music, release hit songs with higher reproducibility, and expanding the music promotion system and other measures, increased awareness among light fans and those who have not yet watched live streaming. The Hoshimachi Bibidiba, the anime theme songs from Maison Des, Wannabe featuring Hoshimachi Suise and Sakuma, Morikai Lepi's Go-Getters, Toki no Sora Okaeri Nasai, used for the opening song for TV anime Boku no Tsuma wa Kanojo ga Nai, My Wife Has No Emotion, which started airing in July 2024. It's actually a fun one. It's kind of like, I kind of feel it like a Chobits type of thing because it is like an automaton type thing. Hosho Marin and Kobo Kaineru did it 3, released on May 3rd, so they're releasing hit songs, expansion of game, IPs, game event exposures, Hololive Gamers Fest, Choo Gamers, held May 25th and 26th, implemented numerous in-game collaborations, number of titles increased, game development is underway in collaboration with medium-sized to large developers. In the ongoing beta testing, version 0.74 for Hollow Earth, they're showing that they're expanding Hollow Earth as well. The appendix, of course, is showing VTuber agency to an expanding IP business. They went from being just VTuber related to being other IPs and, expanding it to anime and expanding it to other things. Milestones towards accomplishments. They established reproducibility. The VTuber business, they established their VTuber business. They focused on several areas, diverting IP and MD licensing in and out. Medium to long-term goals are going to be expanding adjacent content areas such as anime and games, expanding to make things better. And of course, like I said, this is all for investors. I'm just trying to give you a short and skinny of it. Make VTubers elevate the culture of youth generation, especially in countries with anime and culture, so they're actually trying to expand the cultural part of their market, and they've been doing a really good job at that. Hollow Indie Project, they've released game titles of Hollow Indie, Miko Sniper, Do Hollow, Age of Advent, Hololive Treasure Mountain. Recent activity exhibited as Hollow Indie at Bit Summit, which is Japan's largest indie games festival, held in Kyoto 19th to 21st of July 2021. So they're showing, hey, we're an indie company, technically, with, indie developers. We're a large company, but we're supporting indie developers in using our IPs. And what they're doing with their IPs is that they're saying, all we ask for is a royalty fee for everything that gets done, a revenue share type of thing. You're using our IP, you're getting benefit from using our IP. It's only fair that we get a revenue share, which is true. ESG, support activities or other content creators. We're working with various industry associates to improve their working environment and implement various anti-defamation measures. So Japan Online Gaming Association, they're for the Metaverse Development Creator Economy Association. Join as industry group addressing issues surrounding creators as defamation and social tipping. Music Publishers Association, because they also joined because they have musicians there. Safe for Internet Association, they're basically joining all these associations to try to make it safe for their livers, is what they're saying. There are a number of cases in which actions were taken against defamatory acts, which 116, legal action against infringements of rights, online forums, legal action against harassment, that type of stuff. So they've been active on the legal side. There is a streaming moderator service, Iron Japanese, English, and Indonesian, 24 hours a day, approximately 70 moderators they have for their livers. Company structure, you're seeing here planning development, event planning, agency management, the percentages that you have for each one of them. Historical trends in employees, they started with 2 in 2016, and now that they're up to 570. From 2024, from the beginning to it's like near the end, it's 570. Basically, their total number of subs has gone up. All the numbers have gone up. The merchandising has still gone up. And these are all numbers for the investors who look at it. A lot of times, a lot of people just look at the appendix to see their full summaries of total equity, things they own, things that are going on. Just wanted to give you guys a rundown as quickly as I could, and not being like 30, 40 minutes or whatever that I usually do, in order for you guys to get an idea of what's going on. PTS dropped about 13% so far, again. And, you know, it might just be that people are going to be, and of course it's like Japanese yen of the thing that I had mentioned before. People are, talent pay increased 9% year on year. Other costs and sales increased by 41%. Well, the percentage coincides with 40% increase in merchandise sales, by the way. So yeah, their talent pay increased. So of course they're making a little bit less income because of that, and you know, net income. And of course, investors always want them to go the way of Nijisanji, but Hololive is fighting that as much as they can. False alarm, according to this. Sayu confirmed that it was indeed her promoting her friend's dating app. Do you actually think I got hacked? Okay, I'm going to say this once, so don't read between the lines. Really appreciate the concern from those of you who just concerned. Thank you. That said, a lot of normal friends who I've grown up with and love way more than a lot of internet things, as in they have tech jobs in government or other IRL jobs. Many of you already know that I'm not an internet person, as in I don't use Reddit, never use Tumblr, only ever use forums in my younger years, and don't care to learn about new internet stuff because it's all so bad. Find it genuinely shocking that so many of you guys assume I got hacked based off me posting something normal, and I think that just says a lot about how terminally internet ill people are nowadays. Oh god. I just want to help my friends because normally I'm powerless to do so. I hope you can understand. As unfortunate consequences of digital age where people have worry of scams, a sense of data security is a must-have. So it is something you have to watch out for. You always have to protect your data security, and that's what we were doing in Sayu's case, protecting themselves from scams. Like, did you get hacked? Did you get hacked? Is this you? Because we want to make sure that you're not going to be pushing any scams on us, because if you got hacked, then you have to watch out for the scams. Fortunately, it's a false alarm, but I hope she truly understands the concern, because it was very different from what she usually posts. Poor silly old Sayu posting links on Twitter. Missed out the moment when indie VTubers advertising what from the outside looks like a totally random app without any further explanations became normal. It's not normal. It's not normal. That's the thing. It is annoying, of course, on Sayu's side, that she was getting so many people worried for her when it wasn't anything. But it's normal nowadays for things to happen this way. And I can understand, like, for example, I'm not an internet person. I'm not a huge internet person. But I understand now, especially the way that I've seen scams happen in Discord and other places. People pretending to be me. It's weird. I'm usually not that big, but apparently now people are pretending to be me on Discord. So watch out for that. I usually don't DM people randomly unless it's actual business related, like when it comes to Discord server, something that happened to you, etc. You know, that type of things. I rarely DM people unless it's business related or related to the running of the server or something going on, or just double checking and making sure that you're okay. I will not do that, and most people won't do that. That's why, like, I am okay if people are like, is this you? Is this a scam? That type of thing. I'm fine with it. And unfortunately, Sayu is getting a bit of a tough lesson here, because that's what's going to happen nowadays. Don't care too much either way, but it's not really terminally ill people. It's being wary of possible scams. That's the thing. It's more possible scams. It just, the way that they did it, I think was more what Sayu was doing. I think it was more she was annoyed at the way that people were doing it. The fact that it was like maybe way too many people. I'm going to double check the post right now. And she says, here, updated this to specify, I'm sorry, it's such a boring normie. I just wanted to try the article functions just to look cool. And here's the article function. And this is the one that they're talking about. Come help my friend develop her new app. This looks actually very tame compared to other things, but I guess next time the only thing I can recommend is possibly just, you know, putting, you know, just trying to help my friend make a new app, that type of thing, on top of the article function. I don't know if you can actually do that. I'm not sure, but if you can, a little bit of commentary probably would help a lot. Kamisubaki Studios company has raised 5 billion yen. Divide that by about 100 or 150 and you get the full amount of, like, you know, maybe 30, 40 million yen. It seems, of $1 million, I mean, it seems that the management company of V-Singer agency Kamisubaki Studio, which has a market in Japan comparable to Brave Group and Aogiri, just announced a major promotion with a live concert. Details are reported by Progress, but they'll be performing the same Makohari Mess as Hololive, as well as debuting 6 newcomers. Also, they have plans to release more anime and games. So this is the articles. Kamisubaki is domestic and relatively local to Japan, so it's primarily local to Japan. They've AVEX Group and rapidly expanding to a larger scale by raising 5 billion yen in funding. Amount is comparable to Brave Group, which has raised 6 billion yen. So they're getting a lot of investment because people want new things. Kamisubaki intentionally pushes the Chunibyo 8th grader syndrome style of production and has strong following among young people. The emergence of such agencies that do not have Nijisanji's influence is likely to push any color further into minority position. So a lot of agencies are doing new and exciting things when Nijisanji is staying stale. Even Hololive is doing new and exciting things compared to Nijisanji at this point. Been listening to the VWP since forever ago. Glad they're getting more popular. KAF is one of my favorites. Good seeing that they're growing. And here are the things basically showing that they're going to be doing the promotions you're seeing here. At Makohari Mess Event Hall, they're going to be doing a group concert, and basically day 2 is going to be an individual concert, a solo concert. They're doing this VWP second one-man live, and this is 4th one-man live. So yeah, they're doing all these things. They're also, you know, putting out their promotional materials, which a lot of people do. Here's the Kamisubaki Wars, the general normal stuff. So this is more normal stuff. I've criticized Nijisanji on this kind of stuff before, and pretty much they're doing the same thing here, except they have 5 bonds of witches, whatever that is. They have a wristband. They have, you know, wall scrolls, little badges here. Because it's a concert thing, they have the light sticks. It's just run-of-the-mill merch. Oh, they have a couple of things here that are a little bit different. But yeah, I mean, corporations are going to go for things that they know are going to sell, and that's what these people are doing. Welcome back, everybody, to today's VTuber Showcase, where I try to give back to the community that has given so much to me by showing you medium, large, small, all just creators that I see around here. I try to focus on small to medium in order to give them the views and the eyes that they so much deserve. I appreciate all of you guys for being here and the people that I talked about for being a part of the showcase. Let's go through this. Pow is a pirate VTuber with the love for making friends online, amongst a lot of other things. A very new to VTuber. I'm using a pre-made model at Flystar Studio on Etsy. I'm saving my money for a new design. So they're using a pre-made right now, which is not wrong. I mean, you got to use what you can afford at the moment. And pre-mades can be like $100, while, you know, actually getting a model can sometimes be $1,000 or more after, you know, you get the Photoshop file created correctly, you get it rigged, you get it, all that kind of stuff, and, you know, any emotes, any other that type of stuff. The whole thing can freaking be very expensive. So I can understand that. Wish to find friends on my journey. I have a dream to have my full design and stream with so many people. And this is what I'm going to be showing you for them. They don't have any current content. At least they're not having VOD saved. Currently have 555 followers. Nice number. Their Pow is a she/her. Tags Pow Live. Birthday February 19th, and a Pisces. They are a Japanese idol and a voice actor trying out something a little different in VTubing. Captain Powkii welcomes you on her ship. So they do voice acting and they do idol work outside of this, and they're trying to go into the VTubing world, which is a fun place. I welcome everybody to become a part of VTubing world. Everybody who is going to be a good part of the community, at least, I welcome them here. And again, thank you, Powkii, for being a part of this VTuber Showcase, and I hope this brings a bit more eyes to your channel and your content. That is all for right now. Of course, comment, like, and subscribe down below. Thank you for being here. Of course, I love having the conversations with you guys. I love having these things with you guys, and I do appreciate it whenever you guys do comment. Take a look at my description for my socials. There's a Discord, there's Twitter, there's other places that you can check me out, Twitch, etc. And also check on your screen right now, because there might be a video that you might enjoy. Thank you.